Hey guys, SirVern back here, and today I am reviewing Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, part of the Legacy of Thieves collection for the PS5. This collection includes Uncharted 4 and then this game. So I'm going to go over the same five categories I always do: graphics, performance, gameplay/story, replayability, fun factor, give each category a score from 1 to 10, average it up, and then talk about the game a little bit. So, if you've never played an Uncharted game, this is my sixth. It's an action game. Third person shooting, puzzles, over the top action, but I'll get more into that in the gameplay. Um, and this is like I said, the sixth one I've played. I've played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 on the PS3, Uncharted 4 on the PS4, and then Golden Abyss on the Vita, and now this on the PS5. Um, but anyway, I'll talk about that more in gameplay, actually. So we'll start with graphics. Graphics are going to get a very high score in this game. It looks incredible. This was made for a PS4, and they added some updates. They have like a fidelity mode that looks incredible. I played some of it on fidelity, and this part may have been on fidelity. And then you can crank up the frame rate and also play on performance mode. So I like that they have both. I really appreciate that. Some games work better with performance, some on fidelity. I saw a Twitter poll today from Alana Pierce, um, may have been yesterday, but talking about what people prefer, and I put depends on the game. Um, and yeah, I think it really does, because like I played Resident Evil 2 remake on fidelity, and at least the first playthrough with the male character. Um, But anyway, I'm glad they offer both. Uh, but the graphics in this game just look so good. The lighting, the environments, the characters, man, it just looks incredible. Especially the environments when you're like overlooking a valley. There, of course, there'll be plenty of gameplay to show, and then some screenshots after that. But yeah, it looks really good. The only critique I have is there was a spot or two that I saw some trees. Like, you ever see trees rendered way off in the distance and they're like flat and they turn? I saw it from top down, so I saw the flat trees and it kind of, it was just funny to see. So, it's not perfect. Like I said, this was made for PS4. Also, the water effects sometimes can look a little funky, like where the water splashes, it just looks also flat, like just like a straight line that's rendered straight up. It's kind of funny, but 9.5. I mean, those are just minor critiques. It looks amazing. The environments, as you can see, the foliage moves around you. I like shined my flashlight in my character's eyes, and she even, held her hand over her eyes to protect her eyes. It's just really impressive. The guns look awesome. The explosions look awesome. Looks really good. 9.5 for graphics. Performance is a 10. I love the way it performs. This is the way every game should perform. I say that every time a game works, all the way through. It doesn't crash. Like I said, it has a performance mode, so if you want to run it at a higher frame rate, you can do that. Yeah, no glitches, nothing. I mean, this was a solid playthrough, no issues whatsoever. So 10 out of 10 for performance. Gameplay/story is where I'm going to have by far the most to say. So we'll start with the gameplay portion. So like I said, this is the sixth Uncharted game I've played, and we'll start with the positives. Okay, so it's really fun. It's over the top action. Dumb, stupid action. Everything collapses. Everything's gonna fall down while you're holding it. If something wrong can go, if an environment could collapse, it will collapse probably. You're sliding down mountains, grabbing with your rope, swinging off, all kind of crazy stuff. I'm not gonna ruin anything. No spoilers. Yeah, you may see some video, but it's pretty earlier on. I didn't show anything that would ruin the story for you. So, there's puzzles that are interesting, they are. But some of okay, So that's like the positive. It's an Uncharted game. If you've ever played one before, there's nothing new here, um, and that's not necessarily a bad thing um, for everybody. It's really fun. I had a good time with it. The shooting feels really good. Boss fights are cool. Um, so anyway, that it's an Uncharted game, but that's also kind of like it's negative. They have not changed much about the Uncharted formula, because it's worked. They're all a lot of fun, but four kind of wore on me a little bit. It was way too long, I thought. I thought it was a good game. All of it was good, but it was just too much. I thought, and I wish I had reviewed games back then. But to me, you're climbing a lot like a orangutan. You're swinging, you're doing a puzzle here and there, you're fighting a boss here and there, kill some guys, repeat. You drive a jeep just like in four. This is almost like a reskin of four. They used a lot of the old assets, I think, um, which four is a great game. So this is also a great game. But I think that they really need to, if they make another Uncharted, which I'd be okay with, but they probably need to not make one until they uh, come out with something that has way new, interesting ideas, or in a different genre, even. I don't know, a platformer or something. Like, just switch it up a little bit. What we don't need, in my opinion, is an Uncharted 5 with the same things, just big explosions over the top. And maybe a lot of people want that, and I would play it, to be honest, but I'm not going to buy it at full price. But anyway, so gameplay is solid, although I had some negative things to say. Story is also really solid. It's not my favorite story in the series, but it was cool because I have not played Uncharted in like 6 or 7 years, something like that. Um, However long it's been since 4 came out. Um, it was nice to dip my toe back in and experience, just some goofy over the top story. The movie even came out, the Uncharted movie with Mark Wahlberg, and it was good and corny and over the top. I bought it 4K, so I'm a fan of the Uncharted series. I've enjoyed every one, but four was too long. That's I guess it kind of gets stale around four, and I think this came out the same time as four, so I'm really curious to see what people thought about this game. Um, so I can't wait to watch reviews after this. But anyway, so gameplay slash story, I'm going to give an 8. Solid 8. Nothing wrong with that. Not my favorite Uncharted game, not my least favorite Uncharted game. But anyway, so 8. Replayability, if you watch my reviews, I'm really hard on this category, but this one gets pretty solid 7, because of the trophies, to be honest, because this is not a long game, and um, that'll kind of influence the next category, fun factor, which I think this was like a 6 to 7 hour game, and I think that's perfect length. I don't think it needs to be any longer. Um, and maybe I'm just at that point with the Uncharted series where I think that, you know, 8 hours may be the longest Uncharted game I want to play. But I do appreciate, and what adds to the replayability are the trophies. I really like the Uncharted trophies. This one you have to beat it under crushing, which is the hardest mode, which I really appreciate. I'm glad that they make you replay it twice, because it would make me replay it twice because I'm not playing it under crushing to begin with, because I've done that before and got burnt too many times with playing games under the hardest difficulty. Another topic, but I like that, and some of the combat trophies are really cool. Trophies like, and there's some of them seem really difficult, like hip fire 20 enemies, cover blind, shoot from cover. So it's like cover based shooting. Kill 20 enemies like that. 20 enemies with C4, something like that. A lot of stealth related trophies. The stealth, I didn't mention that in the gameplay, but the stealth is really fun. But like I said, that's another Uncharted as well. But replayability is going to get a 7 because of that. It's got enough in it to make you come back for at least 2 playthroughs, but maybe even 3. And it's short enough to where you could just replay this game if you want to jump, like dip your toe back into Uncharted, but not beat a 20-hour game like 4 is. But I think it's got enough there, content, even in that short amount of gameplay to justify a 7 for replayability. But the next category is going to be fun factor. So I had a good time with this game, although I do have some critiques that you heard. I had a good time with the game. I'm glad this game exists. It's like a spin-off kind of like the Vita game, uh, like the Golden Abyss, I think. But just look at these screenshots, how pretty this game is. The character models in particular just look so good. I'm so glad they added a photo mode. My goodness, really happy about that because you can change funny stuff in the photo mode, like make them smile, which looks really creepy sometimes when they're not supposed to be smiling. You can do brightness and sharpness and everything. I mean, I love photo modes in games. Not sure if I mentioned that before, but I really like it. So just to recap, graphics get a 9.5, performance a 10, gameplay/story an 8, replayability a 7, fun factor an 8, and that averages out to a 8.5 out of 10, which is a really good game. I'm glad I played this game. Um, so if you haven't played Uncharted for a while and 4 may have been too long for you, I'll have to watch a review of 4 to see what people thought about that as well. But this is a solid game. I do recommend it for sure. So I'll just talk about a few things. I wrote, oh, guns in the cutscenes. I also like how whatever gun you're holding will appear in the cutscenes. Not every game does that. I like that. Um, or new mechanics. Once again, they need to add something new because this is like mechanic wise copy and paste from 4 to me from what I remember. It's a cool addition, and short was okay. So that's all the notes I wrote. I'm okay with it being short. I looked for a short game uh, because I'm having a baby in 2 weeks, so I wanted something relatively short to beat. Um, and yeah, I'm glad I picked Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I put this one off for a long time, and I saw the collection on PS5 and was happy to purchase it. So if you haven't played this game, I definitely recommend it, and it's probably really cheap now, especially like the PS4 version. You could probably get the PS4 version for $10 or less used. But anyway, that's all I got. So over and out.